Greetings to everyone from wherever you are. Flying Val here. This is the second part of the Durin's folk base, the base themed after the Dwarves of Tolkien, Durin's folk, as the name states. So without any further ado, let's get into it. At first I cut the template and I traced it on the headstock. I went with the traditional shape because lack of imagination, I guess. I then traced the coastal runes on the body, filled them, and slowly digged around them using a small chisel. After that, I slowly removed the wood, and that is how the runes were carved. I also removed a small amount of wood from the control cavity as the full-size pots needed more space. Then it was time to trace the humbucker. I used the humbucker itself for the tracing and the template for the details. I used a small drill to drill as many holes as possible, and then I slowly chiseled the remaining wood out of the new cavity. Not too shabby. The body was ready. It was time for the headstock. I sawed the wood close to the tracing, and then I sanded and sanded and sanded and sanded some more until it was perfect. I also rounded the fretboard edges for more comfort. And the time had come for the parts to be painted. Thankfully, the primer I used was grey, so I did a few hands on both the body and the headstock, and it was ready to be transformed into stone. For the stone look, I dry brushed white, light brown, and dark brown, and wet brushed with black. And this is the final result. I did the exact same thing to the body using the center part as my testing area, since that part was going to be covered anyway. I also filled the runes with white before applying the glow paint for a better effect. I drew the axe on the headstock, and then I found out that something had been spilled in my hand. Luckily, I was able to remove it. I drew the symbol of Durin's folk on the body, and then I traced it with mithril silver paint. And the time for the clear coat had come. After the first, second, and third clear coat cured, I buffed the body and went on to remove the tapes from the neck. As I was shielding the cavities, I noticed some orange peel on the body, which meant that I had to redo the clear coat. I did it and focused on finishing the headstock and the neck, and then I noticed this. A huge crack on the fretboard. It might seem scary, but it actually is an easy fix. But then, wrong knot. And all this as the body was curing. Until the clear cured and the new knot arrived, I started doing the electronics. I didn't like the shielding on the picket, so I did it myself, as exaggeratingly as possible. I put on the pots and jack, and in case you want to see how the wiring for the 2-volume no-tone bass is done, here it is. And the picket was ready. I put the knobs on, and everything was ready for the final assembly. I assembled the pots, closed the picket, strung her up, put the right nut on, set her up, and she was ready. And this was my DIY Kit Challenge 22 entry. I hope you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching, and until next time to everyone, cheers!